Hey guys and girls, my name's Alan and welcome to today's video. So hope you're having a good Saturday so far. It is of course another Uncharted 4 multiplayer video coming at you, and once again I'll be picking up my US trip recap. Today's video I believe will be the penultimate video. Next week will be I think the final one. I think depends how much we get covered today. But so in last week's video, if you want to catch up, I talked about the wedding part 2 if you will. So they had the big event in LA, that's where they did the vows and stuff. And then of course I had my first ever mini cruise, and that was down to Mexico, and that was a few days, and then we drove all the way back up to San Francisco. And then the day after we got back, we had the wedding banquet, which was just all about good food and eating and just drinking. So that was really cool, and basically that was the end of the trip in terms of big events. So the rest of it was just spending time with the family, just doing some other touristy stuff, but nothing major. Right, so in terms of miscellaneous news, not much to talk about this week, if at all. I don't think there's anything I need to talk about other than the fact that I have reached, I believe, at this point, I've uploaded 7 days in a row, which is a first. I don't think I've done this for a very long time, and especially not like full gameplay videos. Like in the past I've uploaded like highlights collections and stuff on the bounce, but 7 days of like actual gameplays. I know they're trimmed down and they're not all commentated, but there are some of them on live gameplay taken from my Twitch stream, so they don't typically need commentary to go over them. But yeah, 7 days on the bounce I believe as of today, and then if not today then definitely tomorrow, because I'll be posting another video tomorrow, and then I've got one planned for Monday and maybe Tuesday as well, so potentially over 7 days in a row. Which is, I'm really proud of that. I mean, it's taken a lot of work, don't get me wrong. I spent like a good 2 days just editing and rendering and trimming and proof watching. It's a long process, it really, really is. And there's a video actually I'm planning to record sometime in the future, and I'm hoping to maybe remedy that situation a little bit, because it can't stay the way it is. I'm spending far too much time trying to post stuff and not enough time. Well, I mean, I guess it's part and parcel of the whole process, but I have noticed that I'm spending too much time doing this like rendering and editing stuff, and it's, I wouldn't say affecting how much time I spend playing, because I still play quite a lot, but I could be playing more, I could be recording other stuff, and instead I'm doing that, but I'm also having to worry about, you know, finding footage, editing and posting footage, and that takes a lot of time. Like I spend almost as much time doing that as I do playing, which is a crazy amount, by the way. Recently I played a crap ton of Fortnite. I've actually slowed down a little bit this week because I don't know, I don't want to say I'm getting bored of it, but I feel like at the moment Fortnite's in a bit of a funny rut. And again, I've been planning to record a video talking about Season 8, and I will do that maybe sometime this week. I'm sort of ahead of schedule at the moment, so I might have time to record that. Maybe post like a proper gameplay commentary for Fortnite on Wednesday, which I haven't done in a long time, because I've been so busy trying to get videos up every day, so it detracts from other stuff that I do want to do, because between work and sleep and obviously trying to play and stream. But yeah, I've posted quite a lot of videos, as I said, over the past week, well, mostly Fortnite, yeah, if not all Fortnite. The latest one that I posted was yesterday, and that features a match where me and Diva have to clutch out a squads game, which we don't normally have to do. Like, we aren't, well, I mean, we have our moments. We're not the strongest players in the team, but we have our moments, and it's unusual for us to be the last two standing in a squads match, but that just so happens to be the situation. And, well, the video was of Diva and myself clutching out. It's kind of a cool game. So I'll link that on the screen now. I will also link it in the description below if you want to check it out. Oh, actually, there's something I want to talk about before we continue, and that's my gameplay walkthroughs for my Plays channel. So I'm still recording Uncharted 3, believe it or not. However, I have made some progress, and I've recorded a few more chapters, and I'm getting there. It's slow going because I've spent so much time doing other stuff, but it's slow going, and I'm getting there. In addition to Uncharted 3, there is actually another game that I'm planning to play with some friends, and the friends that I'm talking about are some old faces, and the old faces are Big T and Tommy, who of course I played Destiny 1 with years ago now, but 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, and back then I didn't have the capability of streaming, but I do have the capability of streaming now. So instead of recording that and posting it to my channel, because I did a terrible job of posting Destiny, I mean, I did the main missions, but there was so much side stuff, which again, because we spent so much time playing, I just didn't have enough time to play and record and edit and post all the stuff that I wanted to do. So this time round, I'm probably going to stream it. Big T says he might stream as well. I'm not too sure if Tommy's going to do it, but between the three of us, we always have a laugh, we always have a giggle when we play games. I mean, it's going to be a first, as I said. We've not done this before. We've never streamed a game altogether before, so I'm just going to see how it goes. I haven't even mentioned the game yet, I don't think, have I? So the game we're planning to play is Borderlands 2. And the reason why we've decided to play Borderlands 2 is because Borderlands 3 is, of course, coming out later this year. And if you haven't already, there is a teaser trailer up for it. I've only watched the teaser trailer and nothing else because I know I'm going to get the game for sure. And if we do well with Borderlands 2, we might end up buying Borderlands 3 on day one and playing through that, potentially streaming that as well. But we'll wait and see, one step at a time. We have all bought the Handsome Collection, which includes Borderlands 2 and all the DLC, and then I think the pre-sequel as well, again all the DLC. And fun fact, I bought my game almost 2.5 years ago, if not 3 years ago now, and it's been sitting in my room, well, at home in my room, sealed, brand new, haven't played it yet. And so I have my copy ready to go. I think the boys have bought their copies as well, so we're all just waiting to play. At the moment, we're kind of stuck with trying to sort out a schedule because everyone's working and they've got different hours and different finish times and different start times. So we can't go too late into the day. We can't go too early in the day either. But I will let you know as soon as I know more details about when that's going to go down. Follow my Twitter. I'll probably tweet if I'm going to stream. Again, links on the screen, also in the description. And yeah, I'm just excited to play with boys again because I played with Tommy actually a few weeks back when the Division 2 beta was out. And we had so much fun, like just messing around. Like the actual beta itself wasn't that entertaining, but the fact that we were playing together and just having a giggle and just messing around, oh, it was so jokes. And I do have that recorded. I actually played it. I recorded a lot of footage for the Division 2 open beta, but I haven't posted any of it to my Players channel. Why? Because I just haven't had enough time, and it's just, it's such a shame because I do really want to share some of that footage. But I know the game's out now, so there's no point sharing the footage because it's the open beta. But some of the stuff we got up to during that beta was just so funny, so jokes. I don't know, maybe at some point in the future I will post it. But I just have so much stuff that I need to do in place of obviously posting old footage, and it's just, it's a shame. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to play Borderlands 2 again. I did play on the PS3 and I did plat it on the PS3. I might do it again on the PS4. But again, so many of the games I need to plat before that point. Right, so anyway, that's all the miscellaneous stuff out the way. Let's get back to my US trip recap. One of the things that we did in the last few days was to visit food halls. Now, the concept of a food hall is, as the name suggests, it's a big hall and there's food. But what you don't really know until you go there is that there's lots of different stalls or shop fronts, if you will, and each place sells obviously food, but they might sell slightly different dishes to each other. Now, one of the food halls we visited was a Vietnamese food hall, and what they had was loads of pictures of the dishes they were selling on the front of the shop front. And well, obviously I don't read Vietnamese, so I just looked at the dishes and thought, this looks tasty, I'll go for that. And I'm happy to say that on the 2 occasions we went to these food halls, I picked 2 dishes and they were both very tasty, so I was happy with my purchase. I don't know if these sort of places exist in the UK, maybe the communities aren't that big, but I feel like, I mean, obviously I've been to food halls where there's different types of food, but not necessarily a food hall where it's dedicated to one type of food, but loads of different shops, if you know what I mean. So that was different. The other thing we did as well, one of the days was to go, I think it might be one on the same day actually, to be honest, was to go to clothing outlet places. And again, as the name suggests, it's like a big retail park with all outlet stores. We do have these in the UK, and I've been to 1 or 2 before, but I'm not a massive fan of shopping. I don't really care about it. Obviously, it was for the other people that were with me on the trip. Apparently, the clothing prices in the US are slightly cheaper now than the UK, but the biggest saving you'll make is when you buy stuff that's on sale. When they put stuff on sale, they mean on sale, and it's proper cheap. We're looking like 25% maybe a full retail price, and those are the sort of prices that I would be interested in buying at. 25% of full retail. I didn't actually mention, but the outlet stores that we were going to were like big brand names. You got Nike, you got Burberry, you've got Timberland, you know, all those big names. So there's literally dozens and dozens of shops in this like complex. And yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of walking, a lot of browsing. I didn't buy much. I bought 1 or 2 things. I think I bought like a couple of shirts or something, Ralph Lauren or something. I can't remember. Anyway, I bought a few things, and they were on the sale rack, and they were cheap. They were like what, $10, $15, $20 an item, which worked out to be about what, £12 or something like that, which for a branded shirt isn't that bad. I mean, I'd never pay full retail for these things. Like, they retail at like 60 something plus pounds in the UK, but get that right out the window. But for £10-15 I can mess with that. So I bought a few shirts, but not too much stuff. A lot of walking, but not a lot of buying. My wallet stayed closed most of the time, which wasn't necessarily because I was stingy. I mean, there was some of that in play, but I didn't really see a lot of stuff that I cared about buying. As I said, I don't really do much shopping, you know, I don't really care. I don't really buy stuff unless I need to. And to be honest, at this point, I'd already spent quite a lot on my trip and stuff for the wedding, so I wasn't really looking to spend more money while over there. On a different day, we went to a big rose garden somewhere in, I think I'm tempted to say it was still San Francisco, but I don't actually know. My aunt drove. I just sat in the car and just waited till we got there. And that was more for the benefit of my nan. And It was basically a park where there was loads and loads of different variety of roses, as in the flower roses. So there were a lot of rose bushes, and each one had a sort of placard label thing which described what the variant of the rose bush was. That's kind of cool. We kind of went out of season a little bit, so there weren't as many roses as there would normally have been, and some of them were starting to fade a little. But there were still some nice bushes to look at, and yeah, it was just a nice little park to go to, I suppose. Really picturesque, you know, a big water fountain in the middle. Again, I took plenty of pictures. I don't think I posted any of them. I could do at some point to my Insta account, but as of yet, none posted. I'm not a huge gardener. I mean, my stories of my garden probably would tell you that much. But I appreciate a well-kept garden, and I appreciate good-looking flowers, you know, because my mum's a gardener and she puts a lot of time and effort in. So I appreciate when a garden looks proper nice, and I appreciate when a flower has bloomed like properly and it looks decent and the colours and all the rest of it. I appreciate that. And then on a different day, we also went to see the famous Red Forest in California. So big trees. We did a little bit of a tour and just learned some fun facts about them. So apparently some trees drop seeds, some trees just, you know, have like little offshoots and they turn into big trees, and some trees can survive fires apparently. So they look burnt on the outside, but they're actually still alive on the inside. Some of these trees are like really old. We're talking hundreds of years old potentially, with really big circumferences. Some of the trunks you could easily have half a dozen people like hold hands and wrap themselves around the tree. They were that big, and obviously really tall trees as well, like straight up into the sky, easily like 100 feet. Really cool to see actually. Again, took pictures. Don't know if I want to show them, but just nice to say that I've been there and to see this stuff, you know, because I don't think I've been there before. Even on my first trip to the US, I don't think I did any of this stuff, so that was really cool to see. Near to the Redwood Forest, there was a coastline, and basically on one of these coastlines, you could go and see some seals. Now, we got there quite late in the day, so we're talking like 4, 5, I think it was. So the sun was not necessarily beginning to set, but you could sort of tell it was dipping a little bit. So we got to this sort of, I don't know if it's reservation or, I don't know, it's like, there's a name, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like a reserve maybe that's the one I'm looking for. But we parked in the car park, obviously, and there was like a gift shop and a little welcome place. They gave you a little map, but you had to get like a day's license, or what's it called now? They gave you something, I can't remember. You had a permit. There you go. You had to get a day's permit, and then you were allowed to go into the reservation. And there were 1 or 2 stops where there'd be someone to meet you, and they'd give you like a little bit of a talk about the animals that lived there and the wildlife that was there. And again, saw some really cool wildlife. So we saw a bunch of birds, saw some nice coastline, and I think it's free to go. They didn't charge you to go in there, as far as I know. And then eventually, after quite a lot of walking over pathways and sand dunes, we eventually got to the coast. And it's funny because there was quite a few of us that went. There was my nan and my little cousin who's still in a pushchair, and out of the group of there was like 7 of us I think that went. Only me and my aunt actually made it to the seafront to see these seals, and they were quite way in the distance, but we couldn't get any closer. There was a guy who was watching said seals, and we couldn't get any closer to the seals. Not that we'd want to, because apparently they can be quite vicious, especially if you encroach on their territory. So we admired them from afar. Again, I took some pictures, I recorded some footage, and I've yet to share any of that, but it was nice to see some of these seals. I think the species that were there some of the male ones anyway, were really big, but again, they were kind of far away, so it's kind of hard to see from the distance. It's a shame that they were so far away from where we were standing, because there was an observation deck, and normally the seals would be a little bit closer, but for some reason today or whatever, they were just a bit further off in the distance. So we could still see them and we could still hear them, but obviously not as close as we would have liked. Still, it was nice to see. And then a short while after that, after being there for like 10-15 minutes, the park was closing, so we had to leave. We narrowly made it there in time to take some pictures and just to have a little bit of a look. But the sun was setting and it was really nice to see actually. But yeah, that's all the time I've got for in today's video. I think next week will probably be the last in this series. But yeah, that's all the time I've got for in today's video. As per usual, if you enjoyed the content, do consider tapping the like button. I really appreciate it. And as always, if you got thoughts to share me regarding anything I've talked about, anything you've seen in the gameplay, do let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I will see you later.